Welcome back, everyone, to the smartest year ever, our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalist. My name is Gordy, and since it's Food Week, I was just wondering, do you know that this guy was the hungriest person to ever live? And did he eat a baby? Give me 5 minutes. I bet you can work this into a conversation today. But first, like and subscribe so you can keep up. I do this every single day. In 18th century France, there lived a man whose hunger was so out of control it defied science, medicine, and common sense. His name was Tarrare, and he could quite literally eat anything. He was born in rural France around 1772. As a teenager, his appetite was so monstrous that his own family kicked him out. They simply couldn't afford to feed him. So homeless, starving, and still ravenous, Tarrare joined a roving gang of thieves and beggars. He eventually became a street performer in Paris, working with a traveling showman. Crowds paid to see him swallowing corks, whole baskets of apples, stones, live animals, like eating cats, crushing the heads of eels with his teeth and slurping them down whole. And interestingly, his body really didn't match his appetite. He was scrawny, apparently under 100 pounds, with a sagging face and sunken eyes. When he hadn't eaten, his stomach skin hung so loose that he could wrap it around his waist like a belt, and he sweated constantly. This guy was disgusting, in case you didn't gather that. He smelled so badly that a military doctor once said you couldn't stand near him. You couldn't even stand within 20 paces of him. His odor reportedly even got worse after he ate. And one thing that I just gleaned from reading all the medical papers about him was that he was just repulsive. Like there was this almost just this disgusted tone and how anyone talked about him. Just quiet, just abhorrence. They just did not like to be around him. So yeah, the doctors were disgusted and repulsed by this stinky, gassy, sweaty, bottomless pit of a man. And they say he always had foul-smelling vapors rising from him. Vapors. Ugh, yeesh. During the French Revolutionary Wars, Tarrare tried to enlist, but the standard rations weren't enough. He would sneak off to eat garbage, food scraps, even bloodletting bandages from the hospital. His strange talents attracted the attention of military officials, though, who decided to weaponize him. General Alexandre de Beauharnais gave him a test. Swallow a wooden box with a secret message inside, then retrieve it after passing it. He was given a wheelbarrow full of raw meat, 30 pounds of raw bull's lung and liver as a reward. Hey, he's like an animal. When Tarrare pulled it off, they sent him across enemy lines with a real message hidden inside a capsule, intended for a French colonel held by the Prussians. He crossed the border disguised as a German peasant and was immediately captured, interrogated, imprisoned, beaten. When he finally gave up the mission, told them what he was doing, the Prussians chained him to a latrine and waited for nature to take its course. When he finally passed the wooden box, they realized it was all just a test message. The message was basically just like, hey, hope this works. Let us know. And they nearly executed him, but instead they just opted to release him. I bet it was because he was so gross. Just get him out of here. After his disastrous mission, a defeated Tarrare returned to the Hôpital Militaire in Versailles, where he became a full-time subject for Baron Percy, a French military surgeon who had studied him firsthand and wrote a detailed case report about him in 1804. Without Percy's notes, honestly, Tarrare probably would have been just dismissed as a myth, but this was a well-respected doctor, a serious doctor. At the hospital, Percy tried everything to curb Tarrare's appetite with laudanum, which is basically opium, wine, vinegar, and massive meals, but nothing worked. Tarrare would sneak out to scavenge food scraps, apparently fighting over raw meat with stray dogs on the street, and even reportedly ate corpses from the morgue. And his final monstrous act came when staff suspected him of eating a toddler who disappeared from the hospital, a crime that was never proven, but one that this serious doctor couldn't rule out, and it prompted Percy, the doctor, to immediately expel him. So I just wanted to be like, Tarrare, look at me. Tarrare, did you eat that baby? You gotta tell me if you ate that baby. He reappeared 4 years later, dying of tuberculosis at age 26. And surgeons really didn't even want to autopsy him because they were so grossed out, essentially. When doctors finally did, they autopsied his body, they found what they described as a putrid mass. His stomach was grotesquely stretched like a leather sack hanging from his abdomen. His liver, gallbladder, and insides were filled with pus. And he also had a massive esophagus and no gag reflex. Also, his body rotted remarkably quickly. Like no one had ever seen anything like it. So there you have it. To this day, Tarrare's condition has no confirmed diagnosis. Some theories suggest extreme hyperthyroidism or damage to the hypothalamus, the part of the brain that regulates hunger. He's still studied in medical literature as a case of extreme polyphagia, one of the strangest documented anomalies in human history. A man who could eat anything, but whose body was never full. That's a crazy one, huh? Go check out my sources for this one, which can be found in the YouTube description. Give me a comment. What do you think about this? What's up with this guy? Do you know anyone like this? Keep him away from children. Leave me a comment, rate, like, subscribe. Share this with someone who likes this sort of thing. I'd appreciate that. Go check out the short version I'm going to do for this at Smartest Year Ever everywhere on social media. That's how you can find that one. And in the meantime, stay curious and stay clever on our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalist. I will see you tomorrow in the Smartest Year Ever for more Food Week, if you still have an appetite after that one.